Hey guys, this is Nitesh, and we are here with another Here's the Deals video. So, right now I'm trying something a little different with the audio, so hopefully it works out, Hopefully the loud traffic that keeps going by decides to knock it off at some point. So anyway, now today's Deals video is going to include something that I didn't bring up in the last few because I just wasn't thinking of it at the time, but the Humble Bundles kind of reminded me. We're going to talk about Origin, EA's version of Steam. And specifically, we're going to talk about On the House. On the House, you get free games. They're only free for a limited time, so you gotta grab them when they come up. But then you just get to keep them. They're yours. So, the current On the House game is called Syndicate. I've heard it's pretty good, but I haven't actually gotten around to trying it. To give you an idea of some of the stuff that they've done on the house, look at my games. Titanfall is game time. I haven't even started with that. But Battlefield 3, Dragon Age Origins, those were on the house. I got them for free. So, definitely something that's worth keeping an eye on. Now, I'm not going to include them in all of these because they actually don't change the on the house deals particularly frequently. So, there's not that much point in keeping them a constant fixture of these videos. But when they come up, I'll definitely be talking about that. So, let's talk about the Humble Bundles. This is why it reminded me. The current main page bundle is Origin. All just games on Origin. So, we've got in the $1 or more tier Dragon Age Origins, Peggle, Dead Space 2, the Medal of Honor Allied Assault War Chest, and Command and Conquer Generals with the 0 Hour expansion. So, gotta be honest, out of this $1 tier, Dragon Age Origins is the one that actually has the most interest from me. This is a pretty good game. I started with it and liked it enough that you're going to be seeing quite a bit of it. Now, this doesn't have a high tier. It's just the $1 tier and the beat the average tier. Now, the beat the average tier has Mass Effect 2, Dragon Age 2, Bejeweled 3, and Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Now, I gotta be honest, Plants vs. Zombies is actually kind of worth it. I played this, on the Xbox One, and it was the one thing that kind of made it a little worth it. Plants vs. Zombies is typically just a tower defense game, and they actually made a good squad-based first-person shooter. Not first-person, third-person. It's a nice squad-based third-person shooter. And, it was actually one of the few things that really had me playing the Xbox One. Now, there's going to be more games coming soon. So, in next week's video, I'll definitely be talking about what those games are. So, let's take a look at the weekly bundle. Now, the weekly bundle this week, strategy. You guys might already kind of see the problem I have here. I really I don't play strategy games. It's not really a personal problem with them, although it kind of is. I don't have the attention span to handle it. But we've got Frozen Synapse Prime, which kind of like the art style to it. You know, minimalist, but still making sure you see what you need to see. We've got Shattered Planet, which looks like a turn-based strategic roguelike sort of game. And we've got Skulls of the Shogun, which, again, I like the art style to this. I would start it up once, and then I would never touch it again. So, that's the $1 tier. I'm going to be honest, the beat the average tier has the games that I might start up more than once. First off, we've got Castle Storm, which, they narrow the focus to just one lane, pushing that one lane, defending, and, I could see that keeping things a bit more manageable for me. Plus, you've got, Angry Birds style siege weaponry. And, it really kind of seems like the kind of game where the more thought you really put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. And we've got Bloodsports.tv. I was hearing about this when it was in beta. First off, it's not really that much of a strategy game. It's really more of a MOBA. You can kind of see here, this really just looks more like a MOBA than an actual strategy game. But the current level for beating the average is $2.76. It's probably a little worth it. Then, for $12 or more, you get everything else, plus endless space. Now, when we're gonna move over to Steam, we're gonna want to check that out. Because I'm thinking there's a deal on this. I gotta double check. But I kind of wonder what the deal is. I'm pretty sure $12 is still a nice price for endless space plus everything else. Actually, might want to check on the price for Bloodsports too. So, anyway, yeah. This seems like, in terms of money, this is a really good deal. If these games were on your radar anyway, you're definitely going to want to check this out. But, like I said, I'm not sure a lot of these were on my radar. So let's talk about this stuff on Steam. First off, we have the whole Far Cry series on sale. We've got Far Cry 4 for $35, Far Cry 3 for $7.50, or the deluxe edition for $10. Pretty sure the deluxe edition includes Blood Dragon. I'm not sure. We've got Far Cry 1 for $2.50, Far Cry 2 for $2.50, and a full franchise pack for Far Cry for $47.22. Let's see, how much are you saving with that? Eh. So, if you've been holding off on some of these games, I haven't actually gotten around to trying out Far Cry. But it seems like a pretty good price point to jump into it at. So, anyway, let's clear off this monitor a little. Now, we've got Silence of the Sleep, which actually looks like a kind of interesting game. I don't play horror games, but it's a game that, it's got a pretty interesting art style to it, and it's a lot more about, psychological horror. Which, that's good. And it's currently on sale for $4.24. So this actually looks pretty interesting. And it looks like it would be worth checking out. Not completely sure I will, because, again, I don't really play horror games, but definitely worth keeping in mind. Then we have Block and Load. I've done some videos on this from streams. Yeah, this was a pretty good game, It's got a third dimension to it that a lot of FPSs don't really feel like they have. There's so many ways that you could go about winning a game. You could pick the right moment and charge the base. You can dig some well-placed tunnels and just go around the defenses. You can instead just focus on just defending. Just keep people out. And the whole thing just has this silliness to it that honestly makes it kind of hard to keep it that, try-hardy. You kind of just sit back and enjoy it instead of getting too pissed off about the whole thing. So, you can currently pick that up for $20. If you want to check out my videos on it, keep in mind they are from the beta, so not completely sure about I'm not completely sure about how accurate that's going to be to the game. Now, just to keep in mind, this is pre-purchase, but from my experience in the beta, it's worth the pre-purchase. And the second to last thing, the Amplitude Endless pack. Remember I was saying I'm pretty sure Endless Space, there was a deal on that? Actually, this is a huge deal on that. But, you've got Dungeon of the Endless and its DLC, Endless Legend and its DLC, Endless Space, and an additional thing. I've heard some really good things about the Endless series. I'm just not really sure I would actually get much out of it. 4X games are just a bit much for me to actually give my attention to. Dungeon of the Endless, I've heard, is actually really intense with, difficulty. So, there's a whole pack that you can get for $40 with all this. You can get Endless Space for $6, or you could go for 12 and get all these other games too. But actually, I'm thinking, no, don't go for 12 with the Humble Bundle. Instead, go with the 6 here, and then for like $3, you'll get the rest, and then that's $9. Save a few bucks, Now, this is probably going to be ending before the Humble Bundle ends, so that's something to keep in mind. Eventually, getting the bundle is probably going to be the better idea. But if any of these were on your radar, definitely a good price to pick them up. Now, I completely lost track of the window with the game I'm giving away, but yeah. This week's giveaway game is going to be Dino D-Day. I played this before. It was on one of my first late night streams, and I liked it, but as I was getting more tired, I was just getting more frustrated by everything about it. You can pick that up for $1, or for $3 you can get a 4-pack of the game. And there's also $2 DLC for it, and a special comic for 50 cents. So, anyway, that's going to be in the description right down there. And that's going to be it for this week's Here's the Deals video. Hope you guys found something that caught your interest here. I found a couple of things I'm interested in. I've been meaning to check out Far Cry 4 for a while. So, it's a pretty nice deal on it. So, anyway, keep enjoying the videos and subscribe to help the channel and see more.